All right, guys, let's get started. Let's get started. Ms. Shawan, let's pull up the presentation. There's no presentation, guys. I am the presentation. I was telling Shawan there's no presentation. I'm just coming. Where's the camera guy? Oh, no, no, there's no presentation. I am presentation. Here's the presentation. Where's the camera guy? You don't need any presentation. I was thinking when I was coming here, I was like, hey, man, it's just straight from the heart. We are learning from. Straight from the heart. Yeah, we like that. Presentation is here. Yeah, the presentation is here. We will make it as we go. So, guys, what is? Let's start with what is a short sale. Okay, a short sale. Anyone can answer that? Miss Aisha, welcome. Me. Underwater. What is a short sale? Anyone? Yes. It's the longest sale. It's to prevent. Okay. It's the longest sale. Yeah. And yes, Miss Farida. They call it like underwater, meaning that what they owe is lower than what they can sell. Okay. Anyone else? What they owe is more than what they can sell. Yes. Yes. So a short sale is when a seller mortgage is the value is less than what they owe. So for example, if your client bought an example, I'll give you an example. Your client bought a house last year for 500,000. Your client then lost the job, has not paid the mortgage, and now that home is worth maybe 490. So, and he doesn't have that 10,000. But it's not only that, because when your seller is selling the property, it's not only the 10,000 difference. Of course, there are fees to realtors, right? So on a 500,000, 6% is what 30,000. So they are kind of upside down about a 50,000. So a short sale is when a seller owes more than what the house is worth. It becomes a short sale or is short. That's why it's a short sale. It's called he's short. So that is a short sale. And as we know in the last few years, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So who do you think can qualify for a short sale? Anyone? A seller who lost their job, right? Someone who lost their job, and as things are happening around, especially in our area, unfortunately, a lot of people are losing jobs. And when they're losing jobs, they cannot afford to pay the mortgage. And you will have a lot more opportunity possibly coming up in the coming years. The big one was back in 2007 and 8, and Mr. Mukarram right there and me, we did short sales since like 2007 or 8. We started actually in 2009. Yes, and we really kicked off because a lot of banks and institutions, they did not know how to react on those kind of sales. So they had no plans, nothing. So it was just foreclosures. Then the banks came to the idea, okay, let's have them let them sell the home in the market and then forgive them the remaining balance. That's the key. A lot of banks were not forgiving the balance. But when we were doing it, we were asking them to write it in the approval letter to make sure that they will forgive the balance. So the way when I came to short sale, right, when the market crashed, right, where people owned homes valued at 800,000 and all of a sudden they're worth 400,000. So why? Because the mortgage industry crashed. A lot of people had arms which were expiring. So now a lot of people had homes which they bought for a lot higher, but now they're worth a lot less. And they're like, hey, and then they don't have a job. So mainly was because they lost a lot of value in homes. So when we started short sales, banks did not have short sale departments. That time, bank didn't know what they were doing. The short sales were taking a lot longer because the banks even didn't know how to handle those. But now, fortunately, most of the banks already have short sale departments. They already have short sale departments which can help us. So right now, a candidate who can qualify for a short sale. Of course, they have to be upside down in their mortgage. But for example, someone just lost their job, right? That's one. Uh, Maybe someone purchased a home and they're getting a divorce, and people who are behind in their mortgage. This is a lot of people who go behind in their mortgage and they cannot see. When someone goes behind in their mortgage, what happens is the mortgage they're not paying, that is adding up. And eventually, if they're behind, I think 3 to 4 months, then the bank takes the file. When someone is behind, they takes the file and sends it to a trustee, an attorney. So what these attorney do is they send a notice, demand of payment, and then they'll say, hey, we're gonna foreclose your home in 30 days. So they get enough notification, and eventually they will advertise it to be sold at the auction. What short sale does, then your client lost their house. What short And also, when it's at the trustee auction, either someone will buy it, right? I don't know if you guys have been to the trustee auctions, right, at the courthouse. Yes. Either someone will buy it or the bank will buy it back, right? The bank will buy it back because they'll start at such a high price because the person owes them X amount of money. So they'll start it so high that no one wants to bid. Then what happens is the bank buys it back. Once they buys it back, what they do is they will hire, they will give it to an asset management company, or then the property comes in, as you have seen on the market, as a REO. Have you seen REO? Yes. Yeah. Real estate owned, or it's called a foreclosure. But to foreclose someone, then hire an agent, then evict the current person who is in there, then fix the property and put it on the market, the bank is actually losing money, right? Bank is losing money because they have to pay these trustee fees, they have to auction it, they have to buy it back, they have to get rid of the person occupant, and then they have to fix up the property because the person who is foreclosing, most of the times the condition of the property is not the best, and that seller is losing. So they may even take appliances, they may even take, I've seen properties where they have taken cabinets, they have taken wood floors, they can take everything. We have seen we have seen properties in a shell because the person has taken everything. So the bank is losing a lot more when the property goes to foreclosure.
And bank does not want to be an asset manager. They
Yes.
want to be like, they want to deal with the mortgage and payments rather than being a asset manager. Yeah. And then deal with the property condition and everything.
So a short sale is, we are telling the bank, we are like, hey bank, this person has not paid you. He's upside down. He owes, this is an example, the person owes 500,000, right, to the bank, and the property is worth 400,000. You're following me? He owes 5, the property is worth 4. So we are kind of going to the bank and saying, hey bank, instead of you foreclosing, we can get you a ready, willing buyer who will buy it at the market price. And for that, we will be honest, we will put the house on the market, let everyone submit a genuine offer, and we are going to present you an offer which is the market value. And in that way, you can get your money, and the seller is willing to work with you, and he is going to pass the property on to the buyer in at least a livable condition in a way, because now bank doesn't have to go through all that. So the bank has an incentive to rather do a short sale than to foreclose. Does it make sense? That's why most of the banks are willing to work with you. But it gets complicated, and we can discuss it more, that sometimes there are more than one liens which are involved, right? There's a first lien, there's a second lien.
Or SBA loan or
Yes.
something.
Or
IRS lien.
Yes. And also, when someone is behind in their mortgage, what else do you think they are behind on? HOA. They're not paying their HOA. They may be behind on many other things where they have other liens and judgments on the property. Okay. So short sales. So why this is, so this is why it is good for the bank. See, but bank is getting an offer, which is the market value, without dealing with all of other expenses and dealing with all of that. That's why is somewhat ideal for the bank. Why this is now ideal for a seller, right? Why this is ideal for the seller. Let's say I meet a seller who is upside down. Why would they do a short sale than foreclosure, right? They're like, hey, why don't we just foreclose? We are not making money either way. The last short sale I'm doing, the guy has been there for 1 year, has not paid the mortgage. The insurance, it's been 1 year. We know how to even extend it for 2 years. Someone can stay in the house, pay no mortgage for 2 years. The guy is happy. He's like, let me stay there as long as I want. And we'll tell you how you can do that because every situation is different, right? Uh, so for example, this person, I'll give you an example for this person and we can follow how we did this. So I met this person, right? He's last year. I'm going to give you an example for that guy. I met him last year. He owes about 550,000. Okay. He's is getting a divorce. He did not pay a mortgage for 3 months, right? So I met with him. I said, listen, your house is worth five, you owe 550. So you're not making any money. I think short sale is the best option. He said, why? I said, number one, short sale can take, it can take 3 to 6 months. In those 3 to 6 months, you can still stay in the house and you don't have to pay the mortgage. Again, we are not attorneys. We are not advising them not to pay. It's your choice. But of course, if he can pay the mortgage, he'd rather stay there, right? So he was like, hey, that's what he told me. He said, hey, I'm just going to leave. I'm upside down. I'm getting a divorce. I don't want to stay there. I said, hey, why don't you stay there? Let me list the property. It can give you a lot longer time to stay. Okay, it will take you because the bank, he was only a few months behind, so the foreclosure date was still not there yet. Okay, so the first thing you do is when you have a client like that, I had him sign number one, sign the release authorization. Hello, Farzad, welcome. The first thing you're going to sign is a release authorization authorizing the seller for you to talk with the bank. It's a simple release authorization saying Mr. John is authorizing Waleed with Remax Galaxy to talk with his bank on his behalf. So I can, if you ever need it, I can share one with you, which usually has the client's name, address, social security, your information. So that's the first thing I got signed from him. And then also I asked for a mortgage statement because I need to know the loan number. He didn't know how much he owed, but we had a rough idea of how much he owed. So I got the release authorization. And then what I did is I sent that to the bank. That's the first step. I think I forgot the name of his bank. So first thing is, for example, the bank's name is, let's come up with a name, SPS, right? On the mortgage statement, it says SPS, 800 number, and the loan number, right? So what I did is, I didn't do it, but I have a guide, but I'm just giving you an example. I call SPS. I said, hey, my name is Waleed. I want to talk with you on behalf of my client. Can you transfer me to the short sale department? Most of the banks have a short sale department. Make sense? They're like, okay, this is the number of short sale department. Please send the release authorization to this email address or wherever they want it. Then I send the release authorization to SPS, authorizing so I can talk on behalf of my client. So when in 24 hours I got authorized to talk, questions I asked them, hey, how much does this guy owe? What is his payoff balance or a rough payoff? They said he owes about 550,000. How many months he is behind? They said he's behind 3 months. I said, do you have an active foreclosure date? They said, not yet. That's all I needed to know, so I have an idea. Then the second step is had my client, I was like, hey, let's put that house on the market at the market price. Your market price of your house is 500,000 based on the condition. So he signed the listing agreement. But again, when you're doing a short sale, the listing agreement, you have to attach a short sale addendum to the listing. There's an addendum, a 2-page addendum, which just states a few things. I think one is saying that, hey, we are not accountants, we are not financial advisors, XYZ. That's one thing. Number two is saying that, hey, the seller will work with us, cooperate with us, and give us whatever we need from them. And I'll tell you what we'll need from them in the process. Third, I think it says that, hey, the bank is the one who makes the decision on which price to accept, not the seller. The bank is the one who decides. The best thing about a short sale is you know how much commission you're getting? As much commission you can get it from the bank. The seller does not care because, Mr. Seller, you are selling your house as is. You don't have to pay any commission. You stay in the house for free. Okay? Now, which what Mr. Mukarram was saying earlier, right? So if we are selling the house for 5 and he owes 550, right? Bank is getting $50,000 less, right? So the bank may issue your client a 1099. Why is the bank saying that the seller is making income? Why do you think that?
Forgiven.
Because now the seller is saving $50,000. So they may give the seller a 1099, which they may have to pay taxes on it. But again, this is they have to talk with their accountant about that. Back in the days, they had a rule that, hey, they're forgiving all the forgiving the balance. Banks still do that. They may still forgive the balance, but file to file is different. But the sellers still don't care because if they foreclose, there's still there's a much bigger balance. I think in foreclosure
They also get 1099. So either they might get 1099.
In a foreclosure, they may get a 1099 for 100,000.
Because whatever the amount of the real estate attorneys they're gonna pay for foreclosure fees and everything is gonna show up as the 1099.
Thank you, Nabil. He got my favorite one. Okay. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So now the seller don't care. Selling property as is, not paying mortgage, not paying my commission. So meaning we can try to negotiate as much commission as we want, but banks are smart. They may not give you over 6%, but will tell you other tricks and ways how to make more money.
That's too early to tell them all the stuff.
We give you a little bit.
They will be lost.
Yeah. But we were making like yeah, but we'll tell you a little bit. So now see, we got a listing agreement. It's like a regular sale, but the bank is the seller in a way. So now the seller signs the listing agreement, right? They sign the listing agreement. I'm authorized to talk with the bank. I put the house on the market for 500,000. Okay. Now it's on the market as a short sale. And I'll put on there that, hey guys, it will take on the listing, most likely I'll put it's a short sale, and it may take 3 months at least to get the bank's answer. So the other agent knows, most agents don't know, but you'll tell them, hey, your buyers have to wait, right? Now the listing is on the market. I'm authorized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the bank again and say, hey, we are doing a short sale. Give me the short sale package. Every bank has a short sale package. A short sale package is usually a form the seller has to sign that why he's behind. What is his hardship? Divorce, maybe health conditions, loss of employment. So there's a form they have to fill out. And along with that, the bank will also ask for other documentations like financials, like last 2 years tax returns, bank statements, XYZ because they want to make sure that that person is in a hardship
And cannot afford the mortgage.
and then cannot afford the mortgage and not making things up, right? So now I got the short sale package. I'm filling it out. I'm working with the seller. I got it filled out. I'm being proactive. Now I've sent that package back to the bank as I'm waiting for the offer. Now it's been 2 weeks, 1 week, 10 days, and there's no offer. Usually, when I list a short sale, I price it very competitive because I need an offer to submit to the bank so the process can get going. But let's say you're at 5, there's no offer. Hey, seller, it's the easiest conversation ever. You know how you have a regular sale and hey, seller, we have to drop 10,000 and they have 10,000 questions, right? In a short sale, you're like, hey, property is not selling, rest reduces 25,000. They're like, I don't care, do whatever you want because they don't care. They're not getting money either way. So you are in control. But there's one thing I forgot to tell you. There's another incentive a seller may still get because some of the banks, there are some programs where the bank may give you a relocation assistance program to the seller to move out, which may be $3,000 to $10,000, sometimes 6 or 10. Meaning a bank can also give seller some relief money as a part of the short sale. So that may be possible that the seller may walk away with something. Now, 10 days later, property is not sold. I call the seller. I say, listen, man, it's not selling. From 500, we're reducing to 450. They don't care. They're like, hey, reduce it.
They want to get some.
Yes. And you can do the commission same way. You can say, hey, it's 4% to the seller, 2% to the buyer, whatever you want to do, right? Because you're actually doing a lot more work. So now you drop to 450,000 and now you get 5 offers, right? Now everyone is very confused that who takes, see, their agents, every agent does it differently. We found a way which is the safest and the cleanest. There are some agents, and Farzad was dealing with one earlier, where some agents will sell all the offers to the bank. This is I think, the dumbest thing to do. Now you have 5 people waiting. So I think it's dumb because now dealing with 5 people all these 3 months. So what we do, the way we do it, hey, seller, we got 5 offers. Let's pick what's the best. Let's pick one. And seller is acting like a seller because he still has to sign. Bank is the one who's going to make the final decision. So we're like, Mr. Seller, we got 5 offers. We think this offer is good. The way we're going to pick an offer is number one, we're going to put this as is and all that, whatever. But one thing we are like trying to do, we want to work with someone who is willing to wait, not a buyer who has to buy next week, next month because they have to move because of from another state or they're in a situation. So you want to make sure you're picking a buyer who is willing to wait, for a longer time. If we lose that buyer at the end, I'll tell you, we'll still be fine. But we want to start off with someone with right terms. Of course, they want to understand it's sold as is and XYZ. Now, when we are picking an offer, how we attached an addendum to the listing agreement, we are also attaching another addendum to the short sale, to the contract. What addendum is saying is, because it's a short sale, it will say, which the main things out of this addendum is, hey, seller has X amount of days to provide short sale approval letter to the buyer. I usually put like at least 60 days. That hey, we'll possibly get 60 to 90 days. But please note in the addendum, when you put 60 days, it continues on until the buyer gives us a notice and they can void. Few other things in the addendum are when the timeline, that's the key thing, when the timeline for everything starts, when the timeline for deposit starts, when the timeline for inspection and appraisal starts. Because most buyers, they don't want to spend money on an inspection when we don't even know if it's short sale approved or not. So what I do is I said, hey, the timeline for inspection, appraisal, and financing will start when we give you the short sale approval, and you'll have 30 days to close after we get the approval. But I really like them to turn in the earnest money now versus later, because we want them to have something in the game so they can wait, right? That's what how I like to do it. Another thing is, of course, you don't want them to do an appraisal where the appraisal will expire, right? So now we got a contract which states, hey, we're gonna pick this offer. They're gonna turn in the 5,000 earnest money deposit at the time of ratification, uh, and all other contingencies will begin when we give them the approval letter, and they'll have 30 days to close. If it's a cash offer, I'll put 10 to 14 days to close. Now we got a ratified contract, right? You're following me so far, right?
Yeah.
Now we take the short. Now we got the offer. We already got the short sale package which we sent to the bank, right? See what the bank is doing in the back end once they get the package. In the bank, what they do is they take time to process things, but eventually they will assign a negotiator, who will work with you. Okay. So let's say it took us these 3 weeks to get the offer ratified. We already have an assigned negotiator, right? Now we're gonna take the offer and send that to the negotiator that, hey, negotiator, we have this offer. We take it off the market. We got the earnest money. And in short sale, you can really, if you request them, they'll work with your title company. Because I tell them, hey, because we'll need a lot of help from the title company. So it's best to use the title company you're very comfortable with. Okay. I would use Unico. Uh, uh, so now we are good, right? Now the bank, once you're submitting an offer, they usually ask for a few other things along with the offer. But you can just send the offer, but the negotiator will come back and say, hey, one of the key things they'll need is Alta, how much they are making, right? So now along with the offer, you're sending them an Alta. Instead of the money, you know how the money goes to the seller will be zero, and everything left over will go to the bank. It will show price of 450 minus commissions, minus seller closing costs, minus if we are giving any closing costs to the buyer, minus whatever is there, right? And then the remaining to the seller. And then we are sent, but make sure when you're sending an Alta, you already have also the number for the HOA if they're behind. Okay. So now you submit that to the negotiator, right? So now they at least know how much they're making. So what the bank wants to do next is the bank wants to make sure we are being honest and we are not BSing with them, right? So what they want to do is they order a BPO. Anyone knows besides Mr. Mukarram what BPO stands for?
Higher price opinion.
Yes. What is the difference between BPO and appraisal?
It's not official.
Appraisal by appraiser and broker, BPO can be from a real estate agent.
Usually broker price
The appraisal is
opinion
attached to the
If that's-
financing.
is by the reason, you know why the bank doesn't do the appraisal, they do the BPO, why they would have a realtor, because broker price opinion meaning a opinion of a realtor.
Oh,
versus an
because the
appraisal.
broker is actually gonna try to lean more towards the actual price itself, whereas an appraiser doesn't give a shit.
Okay, what else? That's
I think
wrong,
the
by the way.
cost,
Oh.
I think the appraiser has
Not the
more
cost.
expensive than the.
He's right. It's because of the cost. BPO is 50 to 100 bucks.
Yes.
Appraisal is
Oh.
$500.
Yeah.
They're doing so many of those.
Banks don't want to spend money on.
Wow.
Broker price opinion. So instead of doing a full appraisal, they'll send, let's say if you sign up with bank, you can sign up with banks. See, when the market crashed in 2008, I was so broke, everyone was broke in our office. So what we were doing, this is how I came up with the team concept, right? So everyone is in the office, we all broke. We, at those time, people at the rich agents had Hummer. You know Hummer? The yellow Hummer, the green Hummer. And all the Hummers are gone. We're sitting in the office, market crash. Like I'm working at a hotel night shift, and they're like, I go there, I'm like, okay. I'm like, everyone has given up because there's nothing to do. The market collapsed. people who were up there with me, because I was new, it was my 4th year. People who are rich, they're broke. They
I was
can't
already
pay.
broke, so.
I was like, hey man, 3 years. Yes, everyone is broke.
Everybody was.
And we were sitting in the office, hey man, how to like do anything. Then I was like, BPO, how much they were paying that time? $50. I had to go to the property and then write a report, which would take 2-3 hours. I started doing like 50 to 100 a month. I'm like all night. I'm like, I need some money. I'm like, I need to survive. And then I came up with a trick. Like always. I'm like, hey. And I was like, I went to the other broke agents in the office. I was like, hey man, you want to do BPO for $25? Let's do it for $25. So I was getting 25, they're getting 25. So I came up with a system. I was like, okay, this is working. So BPO is cheap. Now it may be $100. 50 is too less. Maybe it's 100, 150 now, maybe 200. But banks do BPO because they're cheaper. So now bank wants to send someone to the property, make sure is you're not selling it for cheaper than the market value. But this process takes time. All this is taking time, right? Now let's say the BPO comes back. Let's say BPO comes higher. We're gonna keep it simple. Usually banks are accepting 88% of the appraisal. So if the appraisal comes at 500,000, what's the 88% of that?
About
Plus
460 something.
Yes, so they will work in the 18%, right? That's how the banks usually work. They have this thing, they'll work with you. So let's say the bank orders the BPO comes at 450, right? Life is good now. They got the BPO. And then once they get the BPO, the short sale is still not done because most of the loans are tied in with an investor. You guys know that, right? Who are those investors? Give me an example.
Waleed.
No, man. See, when you're getting a loan, let's say you get a mortgage, right?
Servicers.
Yes. When you get a mortgage, right? They are usually there's another. They are sold. They are sold many times in the back end. Yeah. They could be somewhere else. You know how the back end secondary market works. Anyone knows?
Yeah, so it's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the semi-governmental institution that buy. So banks basically they put 10, 20 mortgages together, they package them and sell them back to the secondary market that the government created a few decades ago. So the banks free up money and they go and sell more mortgages.
So they are like all back. There are many different ways of doing it. See, what happens is, let's say you get a mortgage. This is how I'll give you like a little idea. Let's say you get a mortgage for 500 and you're so happy that I got a mortgage, but you didn't get a mortgage for 500. You signed a document that you're going to pay back 800,000 in 30 years. So what they do is they go back to someone. For example, I'll give you an example so it makes sense. I give Ben money 500. He's very happy, but he's going to give me back 8 in 30 years. I go to Nabil and say, hey man, Ben owes me 800,000, 30 years. Let's give me upfront money and I'll sell it to you. So you package it, you sell it. Because Ben owes in the long term, so I'm going to get my quick. So they're tied somewhere. So what happens is now the negotiator is saying, hey, it looks good what you send us. I got the offer, I got the package, I got the tax returns, I got the Alta, everyone thinks looks good. BPO looks good. Now we're going to submit it to the investor. And now the investor decides, or they may come up with something else if they need. And again, this is taking a lot of time. This is happening in 3 months. Then if everything goes well, they will generate an approval letter. Usually they come back and forth. They may say, hey, I don't like the 6% commission. More than likely they'll say, I don't like 6%. Drop it to 5 or drop it to 4. We are not willing to pay this fee. Buyer has to pay it. Take this out. It's like a back and forth. And then investor looks at it, then they issue you an approval letter. You get the approval letter, it will highlight, hey, we want closing done in this time frame. We want to net X amount of money. This is where we want the money to be wired. Now we get the short sale approval letter. We give it to the buyer, and now the buyer and the timeline will trigger now, right? Where they're gonna do their inspection, appraisal or whatnot, and then they go to closing. What I explained you is the best case scenario. This was all the best case scenario could happen to you. This is like the best thing could happen to you. This usually does not happen.
Still 4 or 5 months.
Yes, but now I'm gonna tell you what obstacles you will be facing in the middle of this. One obstacle is you're doing the short sale, the guy is 3 months behind already, right? You submitted the short sale offer. See, banks are a system, right? After it reaches a certain payment missed, it automatically goes to the foreclosure. So even though you are working on the short sale, your client may still get a foreclosure notice.
Because foreclosure department and short sale departments are two different departments. They might be in different states.
Yes.
So they don't know, they don't communicate with each other.
So now a scenario is your client get a short sale, a foreclosure. Now you go to the bank. One scenario is, hey, we are doing a short sale. Can you give us time? One, yes, no problem. We will stop the foreclosure. Life is good, right? Now, what if the bank is like, we are not going to stop the foreclosure?
Talk to the, or they will tell you to talk to the foreclosure attorney or
Yes.
trustee.
What do you do then? Well, don't tell them, man. Let's ask. What do you do when the bank doesn't want to? They're like, hey, man, we're not going to stop the
As
foreclosure.
long as you make some kind of payment, it's
They
gonna
are
stop the
broke. They're broke.
foreclosure.
They broke.
PK.
Well,
Well, there were like many tricks, like
Give us trick.
bankruptcy. And like,
There you go, one. PK. BK.
That's the last resort.
hold on, what did you say?
file a
Filing a bankruptcy automatically stops the foreclosure and it gives you about like 3 months.
do a modification.
No, but that is
No,
also for
modification
won't
is
stop the
No,
foreclosure.
yeah, modification will not stop the foreclosure.
BK. Now BK. Is that BK is a brand, right? Burger King?
Burger King.
Burger King. File Burger King. Okay. Now I know an attorney.
Story.
I'll give you a trick. I'm giving you a lot of tricks. Maybe I should get paid. Okay. So I work with a lot of distressed property. I'm working with 3 right now, which very less juice, and they have a foreclosure on the 9th. All of them. Okay. So I found an attorney, right? For $1,800. He files bankruptcy, but bankruptcy is not finalized until you go to the court. So he just files to stop. And so what he does for $1,800 is he'll stop the foreclosure, but the client is not proceeding with bankruptcy.
It's like a fake.
It's not fake. It's an intent. Hey man, I'm filing, everything stops,
I mean, like the client,
And then you pull it back.
then you pull it out. So what it does, it gives us enough time to do whatever we need to do. Everything stops. And we do what we need to do, and we have done it many times, and the client doesn't have to proceed. This attorney is really good. He'll tell me, hey, he's a really nice guy. Cromwell, I'll give you the name. He'll like, whenever you're ready, I'll pull back. He'll get you 3-4 months.
Okay, Harvey Dent.
Harvey then. Yeah, Harvey. Okay. Yes.
So who's paying for 1,800?
Now that's another thing. Your client will most likely pay this. Why?
They wanna sell the house.
No. Give me a reason why they want to pay for $1,800.
Don't wanna do bankruptcy.
charged.
No, we cannot. They have to pay. You don't want to pay.
Foreclosure.
They
They don't want to see foreclosure.
Why your client will pay the $1,800?
They're paying for free and.
Yes, their mortgage, they will stay here 3-4 months. They're saving $3,000 a month for coming months. So they rather not go to foreclose and start paying. So they're actually saving more than $1,800.
So what about if they don't pay? It happened to me.
See, it depending on the scenario, I've
Yeah.
paid many times for my
Yeah,
clients.
that's what I paid too.
Depending on the deal, I've paid many times and they pay me back, I said, hey, I'll pay you and we'll try to get it from the bank. Okay. So now this is that's always you can use to cancel everything. But if the bank is not willing to do that, okay. So get that right. Now, what other scenarios you can run into? Let's talk about another scenario. You worked 4 months. You got the short sale approval. Yeah. You're getting ready to get paid. And the buyer is like, we don't want it. What do you do now?
Give it to us.
Yeah, give it.
Yeah, give it to us. We'll
You
buy
had
What
it.
do you do?
multiple- You had multiple offers already.
No, that was 3 months ago. So now, most of the time, since you have a negotiator, you're like, hey, this is a new offer. Some banks want you to restart from zero,
Hold on.
right? But some banks are okay, let's just
The
replace it.
reason they want you to start again if the documents have been expired. So normally they expired in 3 months. So their financial, their hardship, everything has to be re-signed and send them because it's been more than 3 months and they are expired.
They'll keep asking you for those two. So that's another scenario, right? Now we're gonna tell you how to safeguard you, put buffers. In a short sale, you need to keep buffers, right? I'll tell you how. So when you send an alta, right, just add additional fees. For example, say, hey, there's a fee to the title company or to whoever person for 5,000 for short sale negotiation, right? Add that fee there. What we were doing is we were actually, when people were foreclosing, right, or were in a short sale situation, if the houses are empty, right, we were cutting their grass, we were winterizing their properties, so we would charge a preservation fee. Whatever fee that is, you can say, hey man, 5,000 for property preservation, but you need to build some fees in there so you have a little buffer from what the bank will get versus what the also, if they come back and say we want more, you have that buffer. Make sense? So you want to start off Alta with 6% commission of maybe $5,000 negotiation fee, maybe 5,000 preservation fee.
10,000 to seller for relocation.
Just 10,000 for seller for relocation, HOA for 5,000. Come up with something and send it so we have the buffer because this is an estimated alta to begin with, right? So once we keep taking those off, they're happy, right? They're getting more money. So that's one. Now, situations can get more complicated, right? So now complicated situation is now we have done with 3 lanes too, but let's talk about 2 lanes. So now the seller has 2 loans, first loan
And he
and a
lost.
second loan or HELOC. Let's say this scenario, and let's see how smart you are, right? Let's say the first 450, right? We were thinking about that 450 number. Let's stick with that. Let's say seller owes 350,000, let's say 400,000 to the first, right? And 200,000 to the second. Make sense? We are listing it for 450, right? 450 is the offer. Owes 400 to the first, 200 to the second. So, and first bank is SPS and the second is TD Bank, right? So, which bank are we doing the short sale with? Both banks? As one option is we're gonna do short sale with the first bank SPS. Second option will do short sale with TD Bank. Third option is we'll
Give it to
do
Waleed.
short sales to 3 banks.
Give it to Waleed.
With
He's
both.
gonna handle it.
Does it make sense so far? Are you following me?
Yes.
400 is with SPS, 200 is with TD. Are we gonna do short sale with TD, SPS, or both banks?
Both.
Okay,
I think what you pay off the other.
okay, first,
Yeah.
both,
First.
first. Wrong!
No way.
Because see, the first is gonna get paid in full. If the balance is 4, out of the 450 you pay commission, they have 400,000 left over. They're gonna get paid in full. We don't have to worry about them. They don't know why they're short selling. They're not short. They're not short of any money. They're getting the whole 400,000. The problem is TD. See, when a property forecloses, who gets paid first? What is the first thing gets paid? Taxes. What's after that? First lien. Then the second.
Yeah.
So now taxes are getting paid. First is getting paid 400,000. So the only thing left is TD. And TD may get very less money. In second liens, they usually get 5 to 10,000, right? That's all they get.
6,000. Standard rule is 6,000.
Yeah. 5 to 10,000. Now, why TD they owe $200,000? Why would TD agree with like 10,000? Why?
Should I say?
No, you're not saying it. Tell this guy, what's his name? I don't know. Edwin? I don't know. Santa. Okay. Why would, hey guys on Zoom?
Why second lien will?
No, don't tell them, man. Don't
I'm
tell
not saying
them.
anything. I'm just reading the.
Why
question.
would second take 10,000? Why? They owe
Maybe
200,000.
they're crazy. Maybe they are like under influence.
There's no money. Okay, you're getting there.
Write-offs.
It's gonna be right off for them, that's the only.
See, if the property forecloses, they're getting zero. Because first lien taxes, fees, yeah, they're getting zero.
Because if they are owing some taxes, even first lien will have to pay those taxes regardless. And the first lien is why it's a first lien, because this is the first lien which was recorded first. Okay, it could be like 35,000 balance, and now they have equity line of credit for like 700,000, right? So the 35,000 is gonna go there anyways because it's a first recorded lien. The second lien will take it because the first lien is gonna get 35,000. They will say, okay, you know what, BPO says 500,000. The first lien is the full payoff is 35,000. Rest is us minus the commission and everything. This is what we will take.
Make sense? So now, but now we'll tell you a trick. There's always a trick
Mhm.
when you're doing short sale. So when you have a short sale and you don't want to do it, just bring it to us.
Yeah.
We'll give you 25% referral fee. Maybe I don't know.
Or maybe we can do it with them.
We'll give
So
you
they
men's cap.
So we can do it with them, and then they will have more experience because practically you'll be doing it.
You have to. So now I will tell you a trick, right? The trick is when we are now actually because they are doing. See, when you send Alta to the second, right? You start small. You don't want to tell them, hey man, you're getting 10,000. You start them, you're getting 3,000, right? Because they'll come back and ask for more. It gets now more complicated if they owe, let's say, 500 to the first SPS and 200 to TD. Now, are we doing both bank short sale or one bank short sale? Let's say offer is 450, right? Right? They owe SPS 500,000. They owe 200 to TD. Are we doing short sale with SPS? Are we doing with TD? Are we doing with both?
Both.
What else?
Both.
Who's saying both or one? Visasha's lost. Okay, who is lost? Who is lost? Who is lost? Be honest, who is lost? Raise your hand, you're lost. Who said who's not lost? Mr. Reza and Aisha look very lost. Okay, let's focus on these lost people. Okay.
Short sale.
Okay.
I don't know experience with this.
So now,
I did with the buyer.
We'll
I
take
wasn't
it.
with the seller. I was with the
Let's
buyer.
make it clear,
Who
yeah.
changed his mind last minute.
they owe 500 to
The first.
The first one.
first, 200 to the second. The offer is 450. Are we doing short sale with both banks or TD or SPS?
I think for both.
Okay, both. What about you, Miss Aisha?
Yeah, we'll do with the first lien, first bank. First.
Why you're saying both, Miss Farida?
Because the offer is 450 and they owe 500.
Very smart. You got it. So meaning, because see, the balance is 5, the first is short 2. All they're getting is 450 or less. So now we have to do first and second. Now it gets more complicated because now they both are fighting who's getting what, right? Now we have to send a package to first and we have to send a package to second. We need short sale approval from both of them at the same time, in the same timeline, because if we get first and we don't have second, the buyer can't close. So now we have to get both around the same time. Imagine if they have 3, we have done 3 too.
I will show you the 3 one.
We have done 3 too. First, second,
My
third.
wow.
Okay. But the way it works is I'll tell you another trick. So when we do these, we tell SPS that, hey, the second is asking for 20. In the beginning, we're just coming up with a number.
And we're sending them only 3,000.
And then we're telling the second you're only getting 3. So if they go up and down, we have this gap. Does it make sense? There's a lot of.
Because what happened is like some scenarios, firstly.
I'm sorry, can someone throw me a bottle of water? But make sure to throw it at me. Don't give it to me. No, don't throw it now. Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh,
All right, good. All right, please go ahead.
So some scenarios you will have end up like getting the first short sale approval done, but every approval has an expiry date on it. Okay, and the second lien is still pending. So by the time you're gonna get the second lien approval, the first is expired. So you have to go back to the first one. That's why you will start both at the same time, so you're not losing the ball.
And also, when you're doing a short sale, I'll tell you, if you ever do a short sale, make sure the title company, what title companies do is they'll sit on the file and not do anything until you get the approval, like in that scenario, right? We were doing with one with Miss Aisha. You want them to do the title work now. Because if they wait for the short sale approval letter, you worked 3 months on, and now they're saying there is a lien, there's a judgment, there's this and that, and now you have to go back to the banks. So you want that time before you even send your first alta, you need to know how much they pay to the HOA, to IRS, or whoever they owe money to. So you are putting that in there. So you want to make sure the title company is not sitting on it. They do the title search, and some companies won't do it. So use Unico. They will. If they don't call me, I'll make sure they do it without charging you, because it costs them money to do this. So that's another thing you want to do. Okay. Did we miss anything?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
What is the third scenario? We have 3 liens, and the third lien is SBA $2 million.
Good luck with that.
Or 1.1. I did it. I did the short sale and I bought, and I ended up buying the property as well. My first property.
I did one with IRS with 4 million. The property Miss Casey lives in now. Are you on the chat yet? It had a 4 million tax lien. No, she doesn't have it. The owner had a million. But I'll tell you another way. So you guys, this is all information.
So can you, what do you mean from million
Okay.
for the car?
So the guy,
Oh?
yes.
Yeah.
So the guy owed 4 million in taxes
For one property?
because he owed his not property.
no, he was a business
own
owner.
property. Personal taxes.
Taxes for the last maybe 20 years.
Oh.
But there's a trick in Virginia. I didn't know that myself. When you buy a property with the person having the tax lien, the IRS can only come after you in 4 months. After 4 is a period they can come back. After that is done. Now why? But if let's say when I bought the property from the guy, right, from the auction, no one was buying it because of the 4 million tax lien. But I did my homework. I asked my buddy, my attorney, ChatGPT. Okay, and I was very prepared. That in Virginia, IRS have 4-month redemption period. But it's not one, but I am not dumb that I buy from auction and IRS buys it back and lose. No, if IRS comes and buys it back, they will give you the money you spent to buy it. They're not gonna give you less, meaning they'll give you the money you paid and any closing costs. They'll give all of that back to you. But IRS is not in the business of real estate, so they never come back. So 4 months later, you can sell it, and that is gone. Okay, so because we work with a lot of distressed situations, I'm sure. What about the case with SBA? How do you get rid of that?
SBA, so SBA is not basically like a tax lien. So SBA will be considered as a second or third lien anyway. So I ended up paying them $3,000 out of 2 million, and they had to release the property.
So there are many which you have.
And I did not. The SBA lien came up at the last when I had the approval letters, everything ready to go, and then they told me, "Oh, we owed SBA as well from like 5 years ago," and then SBA showed up as well. So I had to redo everything, and then going to. That's why he said it's the best way to start the title search in the beginning, so you don't come up with like surprises. At the end.
Will that show in title search or no? The SBA.
No, it was showing the
Oh,
title
okay.
search, but we did not do it because we were so busy doing like hundreds of short sales.
Yeah.
And then I think title company, we had a bridge title at that time. and they loses the ball, on this deal because I was buying. They said, "No, we don't care. You're buying it." And then at the end of the day, they got 3,000. Second lien got 3,000, and then first lien got whatever the payoff was.
Okay,
Question, question.
yes, sure.
So when you said nobody wanted to buy this because of that lien for a million,
Yes.
so why everybody didn't buy it?
Because they didn't know about, they were scared of the IRS. So the way it worked is very funny. We went to the auction, right? I was with the seller. We had a deal with him. So he had an auction. I went to the auction with him and people were gonna bid on it. So me and him went around and told everyone about the IRS lien and scared them. We're like, hey, look at that. Have you seen the IRS lien? Have you seen the IRS lien? There's the IRS lien. It's the owner, and we had the paper and everyone backed out. That's how we got it.
So usually people, if they, why, when they back up, what it mean? Why they afraid from that?
Because they think they have to pay for it.
Because of knowledge, people don't know.
I didn't even
search. If they did a title search, they probably wouldn't show up.
If you go to the courthouse tomorrow and see the auction,
Yeah.
99% of those people don't know nothing
You're
going on.
right. This dumb thing happened yesterday to my client, not client, but someone was so dumb, right? My client called me. Somehow he forgot to make his payments and his property ended up in foreclosure. But the
Wow.
second lien, not the first lien, the second lien. So the buyer went to the auction because they don't do their homework. At the auction, he thinks he's buying the house for 250, but he's buying the second lien, not the first lien. He called my client called me yesterday. He was like, the guy called me, he's so happy. He's saying, hey Fazan, he's saying, yeah, I bought your house for 250. I bought your house for 250. I'm closing on it. Then my client is like, hey man, there's a 300,000 first lien.
Mhm.
He's dumb. He didn't do his search because he was thinking he's getting it cheaper. Now question before we wrap this up. And we'll do something. Oh, anyone?
Go.
Ma'am, you have question? Okay. Anyone question? Fazan, you must have a lot of questions.
I've been on Zoom the whole time.
Oh, good man. Okay. Looks like you understand this, right? Who got this? Like from 1 to 10, who thinks they're at like from 8 to 10? Raise their hand.
I got the gist of it. I got
You
it.
sure? You have to think before you answer this question, think one more time.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I went through it with 2 homes I lost with my own personal thing, but I really didn't know the technicality, how my ex-husband did it. Now it's so much more clear to me. Wow.
I think before you raise your hand again, think one more time. If you think you're like from 7 to 10%, you think you got it. Come on, man. Okay. So we have Farida and Ben.
I did get it.
I think I'm looking, I kind of like that. Okay. Now, Miss Farida, since you said you got it. Now I am a distressed seller and you're gonna sell me that. Now I am meeting with, let's see how you're gonna, so, and again, you're gonna, good, but you're a smart man. So let's say I'm a seller, you meet with me and, let's say I own a property which is worth, 500, let's say it's worth 5 and I owe like 700,000-800,000. So let's just have let's say are we doing a phone call or are we doing in-person meeting?
You tell me.
What do you guys think?
Was in person.
Let's go in person. Yes, Miss Farida, I want to sell my house and I'm behind in the mortgage 2 months. What can you do for me?
Sure. Waleed, let me just can I just ask you a few questions?
Sure.
All right. So I would like to see if I can give me your, your mortgage statement so I can take a look at your numbers.
Yeah, here it is. It's
fantastic.
I owe 600,000 and I'm behind like 4 months.
4 months. 4 months.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, have you gotten any letter from the bank that your home might become foreclosed? Do you get any?
I got one letter that they will be putting it into foreclosure, but I have not gotten anything from an attorney.
You have not gotten
Yeah.
anything. Okay, so basically what the bank is doing is probably it is already in, an auction, because you have missed like 3 months, now you're in the 4 month. So it is a big possibility that your house is gonna go to the, foreclose. So in case if your house is not gonna go foreclose, then the bank itself, since you owe so much money, so the bank itself is gonna own the house back and then.
But how can you help me?
I will just help you because you have a very good
How?
option. So I can put the house in the market
Okay.
and we can just do a short sale.
What is a short sale?
Short sale is in your advantage compared to, selling your house, on the, for the foreclose. It's a good thing for you because your credit is not going to be as low as it should have been. One thing for the short sale.
Oh, you're a financial advisor too?
I am not, but I just wanted to let you know that.
Yes. Okay.
But Waleed, let me tell you, short sale, you miss 4 months.
Okay.
So it might take about another 3 or 4 months that you can.
So what's my
sell your
first step?
house that
What's
you're
my
not
first
gonna-
step now? What's my first step? What I need to do?
The first step is just to stay intact in your house.
Okay. But
Yes.
what you gonna do for me? What's my first step? I need to
The
go have
first is-
meetings.
Absolutely. So I would like to give me the authorization so I
Okay.
can start the process. Absolutely.
And you'll handle everything. Do I
I
owe you
will-
anything?
Not really. You don't owe me anything. You don't pay any commission. I don't have any processing fee.
How do you
or
get paid?
anything. I will get paid when I sell your house on short sale and then the bank is gonna pay
Okay.
me.
And do I get paid?
It is very possible, maybe if you are relocating, there is possibility that the bank will agree to, pay some money for the relocating.
I'm not gonna go deep, but you did good. You're in the right direction.
Okay.
And you put you on the spot. He put you on the spot. Guys, ask questions. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Waleed. I've seen short sales where it's been it can take longer. There's no, sometimes agents will ask you, is this approved? Is there a possibility to have it approved and then put it
No,
on the market?
approved is when you submit actually an offer. Some agents, what they do is when they get a short sale, they just send a dummy offer and get a price approved, right?
That's what, okay.
But it's better instead of that, put it on the market.
And
There's a lot of corruption in short sales, people selling into what they're doing is what happens is, hey, your house is, oh, you cannot pay the mortgage, hey, let's sell it to your relative here for 300,000 lower. This, we have seen it all. What
Yeah.
people
So
were doing.
basically, they will make you sign a form. The seller and buyer will sign that they are not related to each other. I think it's Dodd-Frank, right?
But we'll tell you some dirty stories, what we have seen. We have seen it all.
Yeah, we have seen everything.
Where we had this guy, there's a specialized guy in this. Person is short selling. What they do is this team goes in, takes everything out of the house. They'll unscrew cabinets, everything, put it somewhere else. Take everything out. The house is now they'll put it back. You take all the cabinets. Let's say house is for. Oh no, but it's other people. We are not doing this. I'm telling you what we have seen. We have a guy. We're not going to tell. I'll tell you his name later. You know him. He's specialized in this. So you need to know what dirty this business got and why banks are so careful. So there were people, agents, what they were doing is, if we're losing house anyway, right? So let's do this. We're gonna sell it to this Ben's house. He's not paid his mortgage payment. What happened, man? You're making a lot of money. What happened? Okay. All right. So Ben is like, hey man.
Just sell his work.
So now Ben's house is worth like $1 million. And Ben is like, man, I'm losing this, So what some agents do is they go to Ben's house, hey Ben, let's make a deal together. We'll sell your house to your cousin for like 400,000. Now how bank is gonna accept 400? Hey Ben, we're gonna take all the stuff out of your house, put it in the garage or something. We'll take all cabinets, appliances.
Yeah.
Now the house is not. It's a shell. Bank does an appraisal. They're like, shit. Ben,
The first thing you will do, you will take it off his toilets.
Yeah.
Because there is no toilet, there is no present.
That's what agents were doing, And then now Ben's cousin got the house for 400. Now he's gonna fix it, and sell it. And hey, Ben, here's this. There's a lot, even when I first came in with the, with the appraisal, because now appraisals are regulated. Before, you could hire your own appraisal buddy. You can call your buddy and say, hey, man, here's 500 to do an appraisal. Here's another 1,000 to do it like 100,000 higher, So because of these, we have a lot of rules now in place, right?
By the time we learned, it was over. So
There was a company.
otherwise,
I'm telling you,
we retired
in
by now.
2010, I knew a company who specializes in making the property look like shit temporarily. He will go charge you $5,000, put a tarp there, remove the AC unit and this and that, and put it back. People are doing all kind of stuff, which we are not going to do. But I'm just telling you what we have seen.
And you guys are definitely not going to do.
Don't be a shady agent.
No,
Kat, you have a question?
Waleed, I have a question for you about the credit implications of people who go through foreclosure versus short sale. What if, like in Farida's scenario, like they could ask, so what if I go into short sale? Will it impact my credit score, my financial credit versus going through foreclosure?
But that's a good question. I think his question is, a seller may ask you, hey, what is the impact on my credit as a short sale or foreclosure? Number one, you tell them, hey, I'm not a financial advisor,
Or
but
when can we buy another home in the future?
so now this is what I tell them. Hey, clients who wants to keep their credit good, right? They want to keep. I said, hey, you're behind on your mortgage payment. So one thing you want to do is don't get behind on something else, anything else. Don't get behind on other things. So once the short sale is closed, it will show on the credit report as short sale or paid or settled or something like that. So once the short sale is completed, then of course, because see, if you look at the credit report and you have 10 items, right? One is negative, 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 negative. Once it's closed, it will take time, but it will recover. But I think you can buy 2 years after a closing.
After short sale for FHA 2 years, convention 3 years.
Yeah. But foreclosure is the same.
No,
is it
longer.
foreclosure is no.
7 years.
No, for 7 years it stays on the credit. You can buy in 2 or 3 years.
It's 3 years for foreclosure.
Yeah, 3 and 2
Years
in
for
short
foreclosure.
sale. Bankruptcy is 2 years.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy is 2 years.
So meaning your credit will recover faster.
I think it was
Yes.
like, yeah, I mean, it was.
At least you won't have a stamp that you foreclosed, right? Mr. Farzad.
So back to
I love
this-
your glasses, sir.
Thank
Very
you.
nice glasses.
Yeah, sorry to get, so Joy,
Sorry.
6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months is the quickest time after a short sale that you can buy again.
No, I don't think so.
I
think
just
Short
dealing
sale.
with it right now.
There are banks who may do it for a larger, now is there 20% down?
For purchase?
Yeah.
Didn't discuss.
Yeah.
But that could be possible.
I think there's some banks who will do for a larger down payment even in a year. I think it's 20% down.
Makes sense.
I think it's 20%. I think 25.
Even with bankruptcy, you can do 1 year. It's like, well, if you put
Yeah,
20%.
some banks will do it.
All
Some
banks are
will
different.
do it
Yeah.
as a bank.
Yeah, Mr. Farzad, your question, sir.
Yeah, back to Miss Aisha's question that you had.
Miss
Okay.
Aisha, okay.
How is a dummy offer is gonna help expedite the business? Look, she said, okay.
I said
a
some
deal-
agents do dummy offer. We don't want to do dummy offer. I'm saying some agents do.
I mean, even if you do say, yeah, it's approved, but you're still gonna go through the actual process.
See,
right?
some agents, what they do is they just send an offer just to get a price which price the bank will agree to. But like you said, it's dummy offer and the person is dumb to, it's better to send a real offer and do that. But usually people do it when they are actually selling it to someone they know.
Yeah.
They're usually doing it when they're actually not dummy. They're like, hey, let's try. Let's say you have a short sale, like the seller doesn't hear for 400,000. You're like, let me just send my client's offer for 200, just a cash offer. Let's see what they come back with. Either they'll say yes or they'll come back with a number. So once they have a number, then they'll put it on the market.
So asking that question is kind of dumb too, right? Hey, is the short sale been approved or anyone? works
No,
on it?
some short sales are approved.
Yeah,
See,
sometimes-
when they say approved short sales, these are usually the scenario that it was under
Oh, the
contract.
contract gonna fail too.
And it fell through and they have approved
Yeah, at
number.
that point, of course, yeah.
Yes.
That's why it shows back on market.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
will see those as back on market, and then you will ask them, hey, is it approved or not approved? And they will say it's approved or not approved.
Usually, because I hosted some, short sale open houses, they would ask everyone who came, is this bank approved? That's what they would ask. So I was very curious of how.
Because they want to know like how long the buyer needs to wait. If it is
Yeah,
approved, then we can go to
exactly.
closing like in 45 days.
Yes.
Versus 90 days, 200 days.
Miss Aisha did where she was on the buyer side on a few of my short sales, and you know how long one is going on for a year.
Yeah.
One closed after what, 7, 8
One went
months.
foreclosure.
You saw
One
the one last time for me too, right?
Yeah, we
Remember?
worked on one together too, yeah.
So it's just, but again, short sale is a big market. Don't worry about the time. If you're doing a lot of them, one will happen every month. You know what? Like you've put like 20 out there, and one by one things are closing. As this is an opportunity, I would say as a realtor, you want to know all creative ways to help your client. Because we all have clients, right? They come to you, hey, like for example, I still do rentals, and people are like, hey man, why you still do rentals? Because I'm not doing rentals to make $1,000. I still do rental listings because I don't want to lose my client's relationship. I cannot say, hey man, come to me to sell $1 million house for rental, go to somewhere else. Same thing when your own clients come to you when the market changes, or if your client calls you and say, hey, Dua, I lost my job. What are my options? You're like, well, I have this option for you.
Fantastic.
Or I can help you with loan modification. Or someone comes to you, is a family friend or someone you know, hey, I have a foreclosure date in a week. You're like, hey, well, bankruptcy, let's get you out. So you need to know all these creative ways. So all these people always come to you. You know, my client, when I tell them, and that's why I charge my client the highest commission I can, by showing them the value. You know, like I was talking with this one guy, right? But the value I present, right? Everyone has a value proposition. My value to my buyers and seller is this: you're not hiring me to buy a house. You're hiring me for life. And I'll give you an example. You buy a house, 6 months later, your AC breaks down. You call the AC company, they're charging you 15,000. But if you call me, my contractor may do it for 7 to 8. Your roof leaks or life and situations happen, so you can come to me. I am your go-to guy as long you are a home, or even you're not even a homeowner. So I sell them on this value. I said you're paying, yes, you're paying 15,000 on commission, which actually the seller is paying it, or even if you are paying it, you are hiring me. See, you have to call an attorney, that's $300 an hour. So I'm saving you thousands of dollars over the next 10, 15, or 20 years. Not even to you, to your generations to come, as long I'm doing real estate. Right? So then they understand.
You will be doing real estate.
Yeah, if I'm bad, yeah. I'll be doing from up there too. I'll be keeping my yeah, yeah. I go right in heaven, hopefully. I'll be right there. Hey God, let's make it happen. What do I need to sell here? We got the whole galaxy coming. Let me be the realtor there. That's too exclusive, right? Any other questions, guys?
I got a question. Do you recommend having the negotiator like upfront or on the back end for the short sale?
What do you mean, upfront or back end?
Because I had the short sale that I did, I hired a negotiator to handle everything, but he dropped the ball, and the house ended up.
I think the best way is if you're doing one or two, do it yourself. Just do it yourself. You start getting volume, then you can hire someone. I think you can hire someone if you're doing a lot of volume. These days, you can hire virtual people, you know. And if you don't want to do it, Mr. Mukherjee is ready to do it any day. He loves short sales. Give it to him, he'll negotiate it. You know, but if you're doing a volume, hire someone from, like a virtual assistant, $1,500 a month or something, and then they're doing all the paperwork. Because the thing is, agents, we get busy, we get lazy, because it's documents after documents, you have to keep an eye on this. And over 1 year, you definitely are like, there's not immediate motivation.
What is the question, sorry? What is
His
it?
question was, should you negotiate it yourself or you should hire someone? And I told him it's best if you're doing a few, just do it yourself. Yes,
One
ma'am.
question for the authorization, the first authorization we get from the seller. Do we need to notarize it? Is
No.
it required or no? Just a letter and then.
Yeah, and if you need one, email me, I'll send you just a simple,
Simple, yeah.
Simple letter between,
yeah,
and then the bank will
similar to what-
accept that.
Title company produces, right?
yes, or you just a simple.
It's very simple. It's more simple than the title company producer.
Go to ChatGPT, say I need a release authorization, they'll give you one simple, you just get it.
Get my assistant now.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Any other questions, guys? I hope you learned, guys, you have any questions on Zoom if you're still there? And they're gone. They're gone. Okay. I hope you have understood and you got some.
We
value.
are still here.
Oh, Miss Esther, do you have any questions?
No, I'm listening. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I hope this brought value. And in the last, this is now our mastermind, right? Every last Thursday, we'll do a mastermind and I'll ask you guys what you guys want to learn more. You know, I think we had short sale and then the other top one was maybe fix and flip, whatever that topic may be. And I'll tell you, about it and we will discuss. It's just a mastermind. So you guys hopefully learned. If you have learned some value, raise your hand and then give me $10 each. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is it. We appreciate you and see you in the next mastermind. Okay.
Thank you, Waleed.
You didn't even clap for me. Get on.
Thank you.
Ms. Shawan, can you end this? No, I'll do it. But we have to do the recording.
Right there.
It'll automatically record it.